Today we are breaking down ASTM C143, the slump test of hydraulic cement concrete. This is one of the most widely performed field tests in the concrete industry. It's simple, fast, and incredibly important. But here's the key. Slump measures the consistency, not strength. And misunderstanding that difference can cost time and money on the job site. Let's walk through exactly how the test works, when it applies, and the mistakes that can invalidate your results. Summary of the test method. A representative sample of freshly mixed concrete is placed into the mold shaped like a fulcrum of a cone, commonly called a slump cone or Abrams cone. The concrete is placed in 3 equal layers. Each layer is compacted by rodding 25 times using a rounded tamping rod. Once filled and struck off, the mold is lifted straight up in a controlled vertical motion. The concrete subsides or slumps. The vertical distance between the original height of the mold and the displaced center of the concrete surface is measured. That distance is called the slump. It's that simple, but the details matter. This test method is intended to determine the slump of plastic hydraulic cement concrete. Originally, it was developed as a way to monitor consistency of unhardened concrete. Under laboratory conditions, where materials are tightly controlled, slump generally increases as water content increases. And as water increases, strength decreases. But in the field, that strength relationship is not always consistent, so be careful. Slump is a consistency indicator, not a strength test. This test applies to plastic concrete with coarse aggregate up to 1.5 inches in size. If the aggregate is larger than 1.5 inches, then the test can still be performed, but only on the fraction passing the 1.5 inch sieve, following ASTM C143 procedures. This test is not applicable to non-plastic or non-cohesive concrete. If the slump is less than 1/2 inch, the mix may not be adequately plastic. If the slump exceeds 9 inches, the concrete may lack cohesion for meaningful results. Sampling the concrete is performed in accordance with ASTM C142. Once the concrete is transported to the testing location, you must remix the concrete before testing. Dampen the mold and place it on a rigid, flat, level, moist, non-absorbent surface. The surface must be free of vibration. Stand on the foot pieces or clamp the mold to hold it firmly in place. Fill the mold in 3 equal layers. 1/3 fills approximately 2 5/8 inch. 2/3 fills about 6 1/8 inch. Distribute the concrete evenly using a scoop to minimize segregation. Rod each layer 25 times. For the bottom layer, incline the rod slightly. Make half the strokes near the perimeter, then spiral towards the center. Rod throughout the full depth. For the upper layers, penetrate about 1 inch into the previous layer. In filling and rodding the top layer, keep the concrete above the mold before rodding is started. If the rodding operation results with the concrete falling below the top edge of the mold, add additional concrete to keep the access of the concrete above the top of the mold at all times. After rodding, strike off the surface using a screening and rolling motion. Remove the excess concrete around the base. Lift the mold straight up, 12 inches, in 5 ± 2 seconds. No twisting, no side motion. The entire test must be completed within 2.5 minutes. Measure the vertical difference between the top of the mold and the displaced original center of the concrete surface. Report the slump to the nearest 1/4 inch. If the concrete shears or falls away from one side, disregard the test and repeat. If 2 consecutive tests shear, the mix likely lacks significant plasticity for the test method. ASTM C143 may be simple, but proper technique ensures reliable results. If you are performing field quality control, details matter. If you found this helpful, subscribe for more ASTM method breakdowns.